Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. If y'all hear my AC, I'm sorry. It is dumb hot. It is beach weather here in New York, so sorry. So if you're new here, I am Shirley. I am a law school graduate. I took the bar exam, documented my whole journey on here, on TikTok, on Instagram. And I took it. I survived it. I took the New York bar exam. So this video, I'm just going to talk about my experience. I'm just going to talk about my experience taking the New York bar exam. And let's get into it. So I think I've been delaying this video because I've been very transparent about this online, but I feel as if though studying for the bar exam has really magnified the darkest parts of my mind, of my emotional capacity. And of course, like, this is just my experience, right? Like, if you took the bar exam and that's it, like, you were completely fine, like, that's your experience. I'm just speaking on my experience. Like, I don't know what it was about studying for the bar exam, but like all those hours studying, memorizing, all the anxiety, like it just really like it just really had such a negative switch in my mind, and I was just like not well. I was not well most days. I was having irrational thoughts many times. I was crying at times, to be honest. And so when I took the bar exam and afterwards, I thought that that was going to be it. I thought that it was going to be like a huge relief and I was going to live my best life and like start working and that would be it. But no, it has not been that. I'm still trying to kind of recover from the bar exam and the impact it has had on me. So for that reason, there has been a delay with this video. But that's my little disclaimer. Like, I am just speaking on my experience. I am just speaking on how I navigated this experience and how it went. So yeah. So for the New York bar exam, I decided to take it in Long Island. So I took it in Hofstra University. Mind you, I am from Brooklyn, and I could have taken it in New York City, in the Javits Center, in the Armory, but I could not physically see myself like commuting and coming back home. I live with my family too, so I just like couldn't imagine the stress of that. And I didn't hear that many great things about the Javits. The Armory, I heard some mixed reviews about people's experiences with its air conditioning and noise level outside because it's near a hospital. Like, I am the most like paranoid person, so I just wanted to avoid any type of like negative factor that will impact my experience. So for that reason, I took it in Long Island. I wanted to take it in Pace, but that option wasn't available. So I chose the Hofstra Long Island location, and I knew I wouldn't be commuting there because it would be so far from my house. So I decided to book a hotel in the Long Island Marriott. I'm pretty sure it's literally like not right across, it's like a 15-minute walk to the test exam center. And that was by far the best decision I ever made, and we'll get into that with how the exam went. But I just don't regret it. I know it was a lot of money to like go book a hotel for 2 days and figure out my food situation for those 2 days, but I think the stress of the bar exam alone, like, I just wanted to mitigate as much stress as possible, so that's why I chose Hofstra. The day before I had to go and travel to the hotel, I was rooming with one of my good law school friends who was also part of my study group, and I'm so glad we roomed together. I'm so glad we did this experience together, because if not, I would have been absolutely lonely. I probably would have been more depressed, more anxious. But because honestly, there's nothing like going through the experience with someone. There's nothing like talking about how awful this is, like how much stress this has caused us. So I am for sure glad that I did that. Shout out to my friend. we did that together. So I woke up dumb early. Like, even though the exam center was like 15 minutes away, the exam administers at 9:30 a.m. But they want you to get there at 8 a.m. because of security, because of just, there's gonna be there was a lot of people in the exam room. And you'll see why. You'll see why like they wanted us there dumb early. So we got up early. We got up like at 6 a.m. to get ready to have breakfast. The first day, I was so anxious. I couldn't even taste my food. I felt like I had COVID. I'm dead ass. Like, I just like couldn't taste it. I knew that I had to taste it. I knew that I had to eat because I just couldn't go on an empty stomach. But it was tough. And also, I didn't drink coffee because coffee usually makes me want to go to the bathroom. And I just like didn't want to risk it. So also, while we went to get breakfast, we started seeing that there was a lot of like student like people. And actually, like, when I went to go get breakfast, someone like came up to me and was like, "Oh, do you do YouTube?" So that was pretty interesting. Shout out to you if you remember. I thought that was really sweet, and I'm glad, like, you know, I'm glad there was like people there that was also going through this experience, because we're like, yeah, we both stress, but let's do this. So me and my friend, we walked from the hotel to the exam center. Mind you, it's Long Island, so there's no clear like sidewalks. It's just parking lots. So the walk there was a bit treacherous, I'm not gonna lie. But thankfully, we walked with this other girl who we weren't rooming with, but she had booked the hotel. She had booked also like a room at the hotel and was from my school. So she was like, "Oh yeah, I like made the walk yesterday." So so she led the way, thank God, because the walk there was not easy. And there was actually a lot of people, not a lot of people. There was like maybe two other people from my school who booked the hotel where we're staying at. So it's like we all had the same idea. We're like, let's minimize the stress of this exam. When we got there, it was maybe like 7:50 or something like that, and there was a line outside. I was getting worried because I was like, why is there a huge line? Like, it is dumb early, but they and now I'm gonna get into like the security protocols of the exam. They do not play. Also, not that I just like don't know why you would cheat on the bar exam, because it is so much information, and the risks and the benefits of it is like, you don't know. Like, don't risk it. Don't be dumb, because like they take it very seriously, as they should. This is like a huge exam. This is to be admitted. You work so hard to get here. Like, just don't cheat. Don't risk it. So anyways, the protocols are that you can't obviously go inside the exam room with your phone. You have to leave your bag outside. Anything that you bring to the exam room has to be in a clear Ziploc bag. It has to be like pens only in the Ziploc bag, pencils. You're allowed to bring 1 liter water, a 1 liter water bottle, but it has to be a clear plastic one, and it can't have the label on it. You're allowed to bring snacks, but they have to be in their own clear Ziploc bag inside the big Ziploc bag. So yeah, and you have to have your seat, because you are given a seat ticket, so you're allowed to like have that inside the Ziploc bag, but there has to be obviously no writing on the seat ticket, and they verify there's no writing. And when you enter, you also have to have your ID, because they check that you're the person that has a seat ticket, the name matches. Then you go in. Oh, and also with like hoodies, at least in my exam center, like as long as you had it on you, you could bring it with you. So I had like a little sweater. I'm so thankful I brought like a little sweater, because the exam room had AC, so I was definitely feeling cold, and I'd rather feel cold than hot when I'm taking an exam, because then I have like a little hoodie or whatever. So we go through security. when you go inside the security, then you're giving like this green bracelet that says like New York State bar exam, and you're told that you cannot take this bracelet off. Like it's like those like concert ticket bracelets, like you cannot take it off. So at first I thought I put it too tight, and I was like freaking out because I was like, oh my god, I have to like live with this for like a day or two or whatever. But it was fine, like I worked it out. So I entered the exam room finally, like after I don't even know how long it was. It just felt like forever. I had so much anxiety, I can't even explain to you how much anxiety I had like entering that exam room. Oh my god. Anyways, I enter in, and it's like this like big-ish stadium, like I would say like maybe like half like a high school stadium. It's not that big, but it is large enough. There's like, I don't even know how many people were in the exam room, but I'm pretty sure there was like 500 or 600. It was packed. Like each of the rows had their own seats, had their own numbers. It was very organized. Like shout out to a Long Island location because they were organized. So I walked to my seat. I tried to find it. It took me a long time, but people were so nice. Like there's people walking around on the exam room at all times, like making sure you don't cheat. So those people are like helping people find their seats. And I remember getting my seat like exactly at 8 a.m. and just waiting for an hour and a half for instructions. At one point though, I wasn't waiting the whole time. Like I got up, used the bathroom, and also I went to like see where my friend was sitting at. So that was fun. Like not fun, but like, you know. Also some people recognized me in the exam room like the first day and the second day of the bar exam, so that was nice, like just to see that we're all doing this together, we're all struggling together. And then the time hit, and oh yeah, and also like the first day is, if you're a laptop user, like they want you to sign in. There's like instructions on how to sign in. First day of the bar exam, it is, you could either like handwrite the answers or use your laptop. Use your laptop, yo, because typing is much much faster than handwriting it. But of course there was people there who was handwriting it, so like props to them, honestly. I can't get into, of course, the specifics of what was in the bar exam. I am not doing that. I am not dumb. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna do that. Of course, like that's against policy. But I will say, as you know, as everyone knows, if you don't know, day one consists of, it's like it starts from 9:30 to 12:30, 3 hours. Then you get an hour and a half lunch break. Then you're back at it at 2:30. No, yeah, at 2:30 to 5. I'll put like the correct dates. So the first half of the first day is 2 MPTs. What are MPTs? They're kind of like scenarios that you have to write out, and that you have to like write a memo on to different case scenarios. And then the second half of the first day is 6 MEEs, which is 6 mini essays. So let's talk about it. Okay, so I honestly, I feel like I was having like an out of body experience when I was there, because I was like, yo, I'm really doing this. Like, I'm really taking like the famous bar exam. Like, you have to qualify to like sit for the bar exam. Like, you have to have graduated law school or like done, you know, like there's requisites for this. So like the fact that I was like sitting down about to take the bar exam, I was like, I really made it this far. Like, so I did have like this kind of realization, and I told myself like, yo, I am qualified to do this. Like, I could do this. So that's the mindset that I was telling myself right before like 9:30 hit. 9:30 hit, and it was like a rush to just write my life away. It was you know, I had strategies for the MPTs, so I made sure to like implement them. And I honestly, I'm not saying I passed the bar exam at all, like especially after, because we're gonna discuss like day 2 of the bar exam, so I'm not done with how I was feeling. But I do remember after like the MPTs and when we went for lunch break, like I was like, okay, it could have been much worse. Like, I know, you know, like it's too early to tell, like I can't pass the bar exam on one section alone, but that, like, I've seen NPTs that were like, you know, I'm not gonna say too much, but like I felt confident, like I really did. I like finished them on time, like I felt like I did the work. And also, like, this is not to say like it was easy in that say, like I put in the work with NPTs to make sure that I was ready. So I really do pride myself because I took NPT serious. Like I did Themis, and like I did maybe like 6 or 7 NPTs. Don't quote me, like but I did a few of them, so I felt good. We took our lunch break. Me and my friend pre-ordered sandwiches, so we went quickly. Like we walked out the exam center. Like you could walk out, like you could exit for your lunch break, at least in like the Long Island location. So we ran to get like sandwiches, which was across the street. It was kind of hassle because it's like a big highway, and like it's not like sidewalk friendly at all, but whatever. So we went to get our sandwiches. We're like, what the hell? Like I will say though, like after I wrote my first MPT, I was exhausted. Like I finished the first MPT and I was like, do I really gotta write the second MPT? Like it really took a lot of me to continue and to be motivated. Like I think the bar exam is hard, but it's mostly like physical as well. Like people just don't talk about like how exhausted it feels to like write, like not write like no, like write profusely for 3 hours and try to like have an analysis in your head for those 3 hours. So yeah, I was tired. I was really tired. So we got back, and there was a long line to get back in. I was like I was freaking out a little bit because I was like, oh my god, like I'll be late. No, but no, I came back and it was like my worst okay, let's be honest, I freaking hate MEEs. Like I really don't, like for me, I'm like, as most law students, like you're a perfectionist, you want to know everything, and with 6 random essays, you don't know what topic you're gonna be given. I was stressed. Like I didn't personally, during my bar prep, I mostly focused on getting my MPTs like good, which I did, and focusing mostly on MBEs, which was the multiple choice section of the exam. That's day 2. But with the essays, I really didn't focus that much. I did honestly like one ME, 2 MEE sometimes during my last 3 weeks of study period, but I just felt like I had to prioritize what was important. And for me, I just knew the essays were just not gonna like, was gonna be hard for me. So I did as much as I could. It was I'm not gonna say too much, of course, what was on the exam, but I was conflicted. Like I'm dead ass conflicted about it. Even thinking back, I was like, I don't know what happened. Like I don't know what I wrote. Like literally my friend texted me, who was also taking it. She was taking it at Albany. Shout out to you, girl. She was like, I have a PhD in making shit up. Cause like that, I was like putting in words, and also hearing from like what other people were saying, like after, cause then after the 6 MEEs, like that's it, like you go home because 3 hours have passed. It's like 5:30, right? And it's the second half of the exam. So like people who were like leaving the exam room after the day 1, they were like, yo, I don't even know what I wrote. Like that was a sentiment, that was a vibe, and I was really appreciative of like people saying that, because I didn't know. I also was like, I made up half of the things I wrote, like, or even more. So I was just like, I walked out of the exam room, I'm like, yo, I thought I had this in the bag, and now I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I will say though, like I feel like stamina wise, interesting enough, it was easier for me to do those 6 MEEs, those 6 essays, than it was for me to do those 2 MPTs in the morning, even though it was in the afternoon and I had just done the 2 MPTs. Because I think like when you have 6 essays to do, time goes by so freaking fast. And I knew my strategy was like commit 30 minutes because that's what you're like recommended to do, like do 30 minutes of each essay. And I did just that, and it was just like a rush. Like I was like, I felt tired. I did feel tired, but I was like going at it. I did complete all of them, but it was so exhausting. It was so exhausting. So it was time to leave, and me and my friend walked back to the hotel room. And that's when, like, you guys saw my TikTok. Like, I was just like, oh, after you finish day one, it was truly like, it was truly insane. Like, it was a truly insane feeling. Yeah, like, there's no words to explain like how tired I felt. And it was tiring. Like, it was really tiring. Now we're going to day 2 of the bar exam. Also, I do want to say, like, the nights before the bar exam, the 2 nights before each day, I had trouble sleeping. Like, I feel like me and my friend, we both woke up like in the middle of the night. I think the first night it was just hard. It was hard to like be comfortable with the idea that we were doing this, and that like everything, all the weeks, all the 3 years of law school, it was coming down to this. Not to be dramatic. So yeah, day 2 happens, and I pre-order my sandwiches like the night before for pickup. We walk to the exam room. There's less people there really early, which was nice. Like we went at the same time, really. I think so. We went in at the same time. Like we got there like at 8:30. And before the exam, we actually saw a group of like our like law students from our school. So we made like a little group. It was so cute to like see everyone and speak to them, and like not about the exam. We never talked, like that's like you could like before it hits 9:30, like you could talk to people, but you can't talk about questions or anything. Like that's not allowed. So we talked in a group. We just talked about like how tired we felt. We talked about also why we chose this Long Island location. So it was pretty interesting to see like how people, like if people were commuting from here, people like were staying nearby. So it's nice. And then 9:30 hit. So the second day of the bar exam is 100 multiple choice questions, the MBEs, in the morning, and then 100 in the afternoon. Obviously I can't get into like what was on the exam. But for me, the reason why I focus mostly on the multiple choice is because obviously it's half of the exam. So it's really important for you to like practice MBE questions. And also I do think I am a good multiple choice taker. Like strangely enough, like I think because of law school, I have become a better like test taker in multiple choice specifically. So I finished actually both sections, which I'm really proud of. Do I think I have the right do I think I chose the right answers for each section? I don't know, but I would definitely say the first part of the exam felt lighter, felt better than the second half. Also, I did experience like cramps. Yes, cramps during the first. Am I focusing? Okay. I did experience cramps, like intense cramps, the first half of the day. I had to like literally wrap my sweater around my waist, and I think the second day was definitely the toughest for me. I think just like mentally, physically, I was so burnt out. I was like becoming delirious. Like I was like at times like I felt like my mind was shifting, like I couldn't see the words, like it was becoming blurry. I literally felt like I was gonna pass out, and that worried me so freaking much. Like, and I made the decision to like eat snacks like at every 20 minutes, or like drink my water, because you could do that. You could eat your snacks during the exam, like you could drink your water. And I didn't think I would do this either, but I went to the bathroom during, I think, the first half of the MBE section, and because I had to drink water like while I was taking it, because or else I was gonna pass out. But then that led me to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom. The protocol with the bathroom, of course, you can't take any of your stuff. Like you have to raise your hand. They gotta make sure you're not taking anything. Like once again, it's to prevent cheating, of course. I came back like they're very strict. Like when you're taking the exam, people are walking, like continuously walking besides the aisles, making sure you're like, you know, looking at your own work. And oh yeah, and you have to sign in at every, it's a lot, but I will say that I like completed both MBEs regardless of how tired I felt. Like I just was like, I went with my gut feeling, which I feel like it's a good thing to do, because usually, honestly, like I second guess myself and I'm like switching it, but no, like I took my time to read every question, and I just hope that was enough. Like I really do. Okay, so I think that's it. Oh, and I experienced like severe migraines throughout the second half of the first day and the second half of the second day. So like in the afternoon sections of each day, I had to tell my friend to give me Tylenol in each section. So not only was I like emotionally not there, I was like physically drained and physically not well. Like I don't know, honestly. Like I'm about to start crying. I just told myself, like, because I remember I was like maybe in question 80 or like question 50, like, and I wanted to give up. Like I just wanted, like I felt like I couldn't keep going. Like I wanted to just put B, like, but I took deep breaths, like maybe twice, and I was like, I have to keep going. Like I was talking to myself. I was like, I have to keep going. Like and I kept going. And when all of this was over, the second day, like after, you know, it hit 5:30, I knew it was done. There was no more bar exam. Like I started to pray. I prayed before every day actually, but especially at the end, like I literally was like this. Like I prayed and I was like thanking God for the strength and the resilience, and not to be, you know, all emotional, of course, but it really was a lot. Like it was, now I knew, like especially after the second day, especially when all of this was over, now I knew why people talked about the bar exam like they did. I understood what it meant for this to be the bar exam experience. I understood why people have told me it was the worst summer that they ever had, that they still have nightmares. I'm having nightmares. Like I am like a month out of taking the bar exam and I'm having nightmares. Like, and just the fact that I've shared all of these feelings publicly, and people have DM'd me privately and have told me like, don't feel alone. Like I have felt this. I still feel this. I took the bar exam in 2016. I still get nightmares sometimes about the exam, and I'm like this is, wow, this is yeah, this is a lot. But that just goes to show, like, this was my bar exam experience. If you have any specific questions, let me know. But I made it out. I get my results in October or November, most likely November from what I've been hearing. I don't know if I pass, honestly. I just know that I tried my hardest with what I was able to do for myself. And if there was only one other thing that I could have done differently, honestly, I would have been in therapy before studying for the bar exam, honestly. Like, and it's just me. Like, I wish I was in therapy. Like, I wish I just had someone to speak to during this time, because my mind, as I said, went to places that I never thought would be revisited. So yeah, that's the reality for me. And if you didn't see my TikTok, my sister picked me up from the hotel, and like my boyfriend surprised me from the trunk of the car. It was the cutest thing ever. And I don't think I would have survived if it wasn't for, hold up, I'm gonna get emotional again. If it wasn't for my family, if it wasn't for my boyfriend, like, they really pulled through with so much support during this time. I was like the worst version of myself. You try to study for like 9 to 10 weeks, like almost every single day for many hours. Like, it takes such a toll on you. So I really thank them. Like, I thank them continuously for just the support, like throughout law school, throughout now. Like, and now that I'm working, like, I just want to give back to them. Like, I just want to be able to be like, I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for y'all. So so that's it. Thank you so much. The future of this channel will be mostly like, I don't know, maybe like general tips, just like life after the bar exam, my reaction to the bar exam results, hopefully I pass, and just like taking care of myself. Like, now I feel like it's a time, like, I'm working, I'm no longer in school, I have a lot of free time, and I just want to live my life, and I want to live it like fully. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I love y'all.